Hello friends. So today we are going to start a new subject, engineering mechanics. Myself Ganesh Dhude, and I am your mechanics teacher. I will be teaching you this engineering mechanics in first semester and engineering graphics in second semester. Okay, so let's begin this subject, engineering mechanics. So some students think that the engineering mechanics is very tough subject, and it is in the first semester. इंजीनियरिंग के फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर में ये बहुत टफ सब्जेक्ट है. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, ये सिंपल सब्जेक्ट है. इफ योर फिजिक्स एंड मैथ बैकग्राउंड इज गुड, okay, then you can score good marks in engineering mechanics subject. So before knowing the subject, you should know the what is the teaching scheme, what is the examination scheme, then the syllabus, the teaching pattern. Okay, all these things we are going to learn, or we are going to see in the next few slides. Now engineering mechanics, we can say it deals with the study of trusses, then motion, and in a simple word or in a one line definition, we can say engineering mechanics is the study of forces and motion. Forces में different types of force, that is coplanar, non-coplanar. In motion, different types of motion, uniform, non-uniform, kinetics, kinematics, projectiles. So all these concepts we are going to study in detail. So before starting the subject, we are going to see the what is the teaching scheme provided by university. So this one is the teaching scheme for semester 1. Here now this one is the course code, course name, course means the subject, teaching scheme, contact hours, the lecture per week, it is per week, then tutorial, practical, and the credits assigned. So our subject is here 4th number. The code is FEC 104. Course name engineering mechanics. Theory lecture is 3 lectures per week. Now earlier there were 5 lectures per week before 2019. Okay, there was a when there was a pattern of CBGS. Now your pattern is CBCGS, choice based. So in your pattern, the lectures of every subject has been reduced. So from 5 to 3. Again the credits are 3 credits for theory part and 1 credit for practical. So total 4 credits. Again here you can see the practical one, FEL 103. That is the L means lab, C means course. FEL 103 engineering mechanics, practical hours 2 hours per week. So there will be one practical of 2 hours per week, and this practical will be batch wise. There will be a batch of 20 students, that is B1, B2 and B3. So each batch has a practical of 2 hours per week, and that practical you have to perform the various experiments. Then the credits for practical is again 1 credit. So by adding all these credits, the total credits for the first semester is 18 credits. Got it? Now the next part is what is the examination scheme. ये तो होगा पढ़ना, लेकिन पढ़ने के बाद आपको क्या देना है, एग्जाम देना है, एंड दैट एग्जाम इज इम्पोर्टेंट, क्योंकि एग्जाम के बेस में आपको स्कोरिंग होगा, और स्कोर होने के बाद ही आपका फिर कैंपस में प्लेसमेंट होगा. उसके बाद बाकी सब जो आता है वो आपका एग्जाम के ऊपर ही डिपेंड रहता है. Here again we can see the 4th number, engineering mechanics. So there will be total 2 internal tests, IA1, IA2, internal test 1, internal test 2 of 20 marks. So अगर पहली टेस्ट रहेगी 40% सिलेबस पे, then सेकंड रहेगी 70% सिलेबस पे. So this 20 marks, and this 20 marks we are going to take average of these 2 tests. Okay, and this average will be considered for the final gradation. So this 20 plus this 80, the total marks is 100 marks. Okay, so for engineering mechanics subject, 100 marks for the theory part, 20 it is in the internal it comes under internal assessment, and 80 comes under end semester examination, that is university examination. So here university exam means the paper will be said by university persons. Again the assessment will be done by university. So here in our university, Mumbai University, we do the online assessment of the first year and the final year papers. Okay. Second year and third year assessment will be second year and third year assessment is done in the college, and this IA1 IA2 it will be conducted by college itself. So 100 marks. Similarly for the lab FEL 103 engine mechanics, so 25 marks for the term works. So in this term works you have to perform experiment. There will be total 7 experiments, 6 or 7. That comes under journal grade, means journal, you will get one journal. In that journal you have to perform the experiment, you have to write the reading, or we can say the observation after performing the experiment, do the calculation, the diagrams, all these parts come under journal. That is for 10 marks. Okay, this 25 is split into 3 parts: assignment 10, journal 10, and 5 marks for the attendance. So 10 marks for the journal. Again there will be assignment based on each module, so you have to complete that assignment. So 10 marks for that assignment, and the remaining 5 marks is for your attendance. So 10, 10 plus 5, 25 here. And this 25 marks, it is purely on, depends upon your performance in the oral examination. So for this oral examination there will be an external from outside other college, and from that colleges from that external there will be marking. So he will give you the marks based upon your performance. So here you can see 25 plus 25 50, 100 plus 50, 150. Total weightage for our subject is 150 marks. The syllabus, so there are some topics which are self study, or we can say that is the prerequisites topics. So these topics are university think that you have already learned this topic in your 11th and 12th, so there is no need to teach this topic in your engineering curriculum, but still we are going to cover some of the part, that is parallelogram, law of force, law of triangle, polygon, projectile motion, collision of body. We are going to cover this, but we have some limitation, because earlier there were 5 lectures per week, now it is 3. So we have to reduce the number of numericals taken by faculties in every class. Okay, so there will be, so we can say the less number of numericals at this time. So coming to the main syllabus. So detailed contents, module and hours. So you had total 6 modules. First 3 modules based on statics part, and next 3 modules based on dynamics part. The module 1.1 system of coplanar forces. Now here we are going to the classification of force system, coplanar, non-coplanar. Again the classification of coplanar force system. Then what is the principle of transmissibility, the composition of how to compose the force, how to resolve the forces. All these are going to cover in the unit number, or we can say the module number 1. Then the second topic is resultant. So there will be total 2 questions in your syllabus, or in your university question paper. One question will be resultant of parallel or concurrent force system for 5 marks, and one question will be resultant of general force system for 8 marks. So total 13 marks is for only for resultant. So resultant में क्या है? Resultant of coplanar and non-coplanar, that is space force system, concurrent forces, parallel forces, non-concurrent, non-parallel forces, moment, couple, Varignon theorem, force couple system, and distributed forces in the plane. So all these are for the 13, and with one question of space forces 5. So around 20 to 20 marks we can say it is for the module number 1. The second part, centroid. There will be total 2 questions on centroid. One question of 8 marks, one question of 5 marks, that is 13 marks only for this centroid topic. That is first moment and the second moment. The first moment of area and second moment of area. So second moment of area is not in your syllabus. आपको सिर्फ first moment पे ही ध्यान देना है, that is your centroid. और आपको CG नहीं है. There is slight difference between center of gravity and centroid, because many faculties think that centroid and center of gravity is same, but center of gravity is related to a 3D part which has some weight, okay, which has some mass. But centroid is related to pure a lamina, a 2D lamina. Lamina means any geometrical figure having a unit thickness, that is the lamina, correct. The second module, again it is based on statics, equilibrium of system of coplanar forces. Here we are going to apply various conditions of equilibrium to find out the unknown forces, to find out the unknown directions, okay. Then we are going to study the what is the rigid body, what is the free body diagram, how to equate that or how to apply that conditions, all these. Then the second topic is equilibrium of beam. Here we are going to find out a beam reaction, the reaction generated at the supports. So before that we study the types of beam, types of loads, types of supports, and how to find out the reaction at the support. That comes under equilibrium of beam. And in university exam there will be one question there will be one question in question number 4 for 8 marks. It is on इक्विलिब्रियम ऑफ बीम मीन्स बीम रिएक्शन. एक क्वेश्चन आता ही आता है क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 में, लिख लो आप. देन द थर्ड मॉड्यूल फ्रिक्शन. अगेन दिस कम्स अंडर स्टैटिक्स पार्ट. So in friction we are going to cover various definition, various terms related to static friction and the dynamic friction. Then how to find out coefficient of friction, what is the angle of friction, what is the angle of repose, what are the different laws, how to apply it, what is the cone of friction. Okay, then equilibrium of bodies on the inclined plane, how to apply the, we can say, the concept of friction in the ladder problem or the wedges or the blocks. The total weightage for this friction is around 8 plus 10, 18. One questions of 8 marks on wedges or ladder, and there might be two questions, one question on revision of static or the laws or the definition, and one on block, simple block. 5, 5, 10 plus 8, 18. Total 18 might be, or sometime it may be 14, but 14 to 18. Sometime it vary from 14 to 18. Now the fourth module is kinematics. Now from fourth module your dynamics part starts. Kinematics of particle. Here we are going to study various motions, then with respect to variable velocity and variable acceleration. General we can say the translational motion, curvilinear motion, various component, that is tangential and the normal component. Then the motion curves, that is the graphical analysis of motion, AT, ST, VT diagram. Then application of concept of projectile motion and the related numerical. Okay, so total weightage for this module is very high, around 22 marks, around 22 marks for the fourth module. Then the fifth one is kinematics of rigid body. There will be total 2 questions of kinematics of rigid body, 4 plus 5 9, or 4 plus 6 10, or 5 plus 5 10, like this. So 9 to 10 marks. Here we are going to study translation motion, rotation motion, and the general plane motion. Then we are going to cover the concept of ICR, that is instantaneous center of rotation for the velocity, how to locate ICR, okay, and how to analyze the velocity by using the ICL method. And the last module is kinetics. Kinetics of particle, kinetics of particle work energy, kinetics of particle impulse and momentum. So in first 6.1, first chapter, we are going to study the Newton's second law, NSL, and the D'Alembert's principle. This D'Alembert's principle and Newton's law, they are nothing but they are the same. Then second is we are going to apply the work energy principle to find out the we can say the in case of spring, the deformation, or to design the spring, all this concept we are going to cover in the work energy principle. The last is impulse and momentum. Here we'll find what is the impact, how to find out the velocity of approach, velocity of separation, and different types of we can say the impact, how to find out loss of kinetic energy in collision of elastic inelastic bodies, what is the coefficient of restitution, how to find it, what is the definition of it. So all this we are going to cover in module number 6. So that was your syllabus for the engineering mechanics in this semester. Now we'll see the next part. What are the course objectives? So objectives means what? Objective means what you want to achieve at the end of this course. That is your course objective. So university has set 2 course objectives for your engineering mechanics. Let's see it. The first one is to familiarize the concept of equilibrium and the friction. So this objective, it is related to first part, statics. We have to familiarize with the concept of equilibrium of rigid body and the friction. And the second concept, or we can say second objective, it will be related to your dynamic part. Let's see it. To study and analyze the motion of moving particles and the bodies. So it comes under dynamics, kinetics and kinematics both. So these are the two course objectives we are going to achieve at the end of this course. Now we are going to define what is the science. Now you all are from science background, so you all know the definition of science. There are different definition of science. So depending upon the person, his profession, he can define the science. So if you ask the science to a common ordinary person, so he will say that the science is something which is beyond his understanding. That is the science. If you ask same question to a business executive, he will say that the science is something which solves his day-to-day manufacturing and the control problem, and at the end his productivity and his profit will be increased. So economy of country or the nations will keep on increasing. That is the science for him. If you ask the science for a pharmacist, he will say that the science is nothing but it is related to medicine, how to improve or how to innovate the how to do the research in the medicine. If you ask the science to a person, then someone will say that the science is the mysteries of research. That is the science. So science has a different definition. If you ask a non-scientist person what is the science, so he will say that it is a subject whose endeavor is aimed to improve the man's life on the earth. So that are the different definition of science. Then we'll come to the engineering. So basic, or we can say the simple definition of engineering is to make human's life or mankind life simple by applying the knowledge of math, physics. Okay. So here I will read this definition. Engineering is the application of mathematics, empirical evidence and the scientific, economic, social and practical knowledge in order to invent, innovate, design, build, maintain, research, improve structure, machines, tools, system, component, material, processes. So all this you can say it is the book definition. Then the mechanics or the engineering mechanics. What is the definition of mechanics? Again there are 3-4 definitions. The first definition of engineering mechanics, it is a branch of applied physics which deals with the motion and the forces which causes the motion. That is the first definition. Second definition, mechanics is a science which describes and predicts the condition of rest or the motion of bodies under the action of forces. Right? Means if there is some body, consider there is one body, this body, and if it is at rest, okay, if you apply some force and if it is moving, okay, so that comes under the study of motion. Okay? Or we can say the study of friction. This body is experiencing a friction between hand and the body, so that is the friction. So mechanics it describes and predicts the condition of rest. बॉडी रेस्ट में है या फिर मोशन में है, अगर मोशन में है तो रेस्ट में कैसे आएगी, अगर रेस्ट में है तो मोशन में कैसे जाएगी. सो ऑल दिस इट कम्स अंडर द मैकेनिक्स. नेक्स्ट पार्ट, now definition, we can say the classification of engineering mechanics. So here the mechanics of solid and mechanics of fluid. So in mechanics of solid, again there are two mechanics of rigid body and the mechanics of deformable body. So we are interested in mechanics of rigid body in first semester. This deformable body you have in higher semester. This mechanics of fluid again you have in higher semester. So these two are in higher semester. In your semester you have mechanics of rigid bodies. So again in mechanics of rigid body you have two, statics and dynamics. In dynamics again there are two parts, kinematics and kinetics. Okay, so we are going to study only the mechanics of rigid body. So what is rigid body and deformable body? Okay, so let me differentiate it. Rigid body means a body whose shape and size does not change with the application of external force. Correct? And the deformable body means the body whose shape and size changes on the application of external force and it regains original shape and size after removal of the external force. That is the deformable body. Got it? the definition of rigid body and deformable body. These definitions are very much important from the oral point of view. ओरल में एक कंसेप्ट, एक डेफिनेशन, ए स्मॉल पॉइंट, एक एक्सटर्नल पूछते ही पूछते हैं और आपको ये ध्यान में रखना है, बिकॉज आप लास्ट ईयर के क्वेश्चन पेपर देखते रहते हो, उसमें सब न्यूमेरिकल रहते हैं, उसमें एक दो थ्योरी पार्ट रहता है, तो आप थ्योरी पार्ट पे फोकस ही नहीं करते। और जब ओरल एग्जाम रहती है, वाइवा एग्जाम रहती है, तब कुछ बुक खोल के एकदम रीड के आ गए, फिर आपको डेफिनेशन नहीं आता, उसका डिफ्रेंशिएशन नहीं आता, क्लासिफिकेशन नहीं आता। ओके, सो आपको इम्पोर्टेंट है, बिकॉज 25 मार्क्स, 25 मार्क्स इट इज फॉर ओरल, एंड यू कैन गेट 24 मार्क्स or 25 marks even though for the oral exam, out of marks you can get। तो आपको क्या करना है, सिर्फ थ्योरी पार्ट, हार्डली दो तीन पेजेस है हर मॉड्यूल में, आपको 2 या 3 पेजेस मिलेंगे। आप सब मॉड्यूल भी आप अगर ऐड करते हो तो आपको हार्डली 25 पेजेस का थ्योरी पार्ट मिलेगा, वो आपको करना है बस। तो उसमें आएगा डेफिनेशंस, उसमें आएंगे लॉज, उसमें आएंगे फॉर्मूलेज, क्लासिफिकेशन, बस ये 3-4 पार्ट ही आपको ध्यान से स्टडी करना है। The next part is the types, statics and dynamics. In our engineering mechanics, we are going to cover these two parts. The definition of statics: it is that branch of engineering mechanics which deals with the forces and their effects while acting upon the bodies at the rest. Okay, means if there is one body which is at rest, and if you want to study the motion, or the we can say let me do an example. Consider this one is the one book, and this mobile is the your rigid body. Okay, and if you are applying this force by this direction, now this mobile, or we can say that this rigid body is not moving. When I apply some more force, it start moving, you can see here. Okay, so you have to find out the force required to cause the, or to move the body by overcoming the friction generated between rigid body and the plane. So ये आपको अभी ये समझ में नहीं आएगा, बिकॉज इट कम्स अंडर फ्रिक्शन। सो आपको सिर्फ स्टैटिक्स का डेफिनेशन क्या है, ब्रांच ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग मैकेनिक्स which deals with the study of bodies or the forces and their effects when the body is at rest, statics. Now in dynamics means the study of body or the forces when the body is in the motion. Again in dynamics there are two parts, kinematics and the kinetics. The kinematics means simple motion, study of motion without considering the forces which causes the motion. Here, study of motion without considering the forces which causes the motion. In kinetics, the study of motion and the forces which causes the motion. So that is the kinetics. A definition both important, because in oral examination the external will ask maximum on theory part. He may ask some he may ask for the some formulas, or he may give some basic example to solve. Just find out the resultant of two forces, okay, or just find out the velocity from the given displacement, like this. But his focus will be on maximum theory part. Let's move on to next part. Now the statics. तो स्टैटिक्स में क्या क्या आता है, स्टैटिक्स में आता है जो सिंपल स्ट्रक्चर है, जो स्ट्रक्चर रेस्ट में है, जैसे कि हमारा एक ब्रिज हो गया, उसके बाद रेलवे के प्लेटफॉर्म हो गए, उसके ऊपर का जो हमारा रूफ रहता है उसमें क्या रहता है, ये ऐसा ही पार्ट रहता है, उसको कहते हैं ट्रस। तो दिस ट्रस हैज बीन रिमूव्ड फ्रॉम योर सिलेबस, तो ट्रस आपको पढ़ना नहीं, बट इट कम्स अंडर स्टैटिक पार्ट। देन दिस सीजी, सेंटर ऑफ ग्रेविटी मीन्स द सेंट्रोइड, सिंपल पार्ट्स। अगेन इट इज रिलेटेड टू इक्विलिब्रियम, आपको इक्विलिब्रियम स्टडी करना है फर्स्ट मॉड्यूल सेकंड मॉड्यूल में। देन थर्ड पार्ट इज फ्रिक्शन। सो दीज आर द एग्जांपल ऑफ स्टैटिक्स। Kinematics, it is the simple study of motion without considering the forces. So here there is one car, or the we can say the vehicle, original position, final position, okay, original velocity rest means v0, acceleration and velocity after 8 seconds. So A is given, So you have to find out the velocity after 8 seconds by using this given data. So by using that equation you can find out this velocity. Again it is the projectile motion, various types of projectile motion. So it is kinematics. The kinetics is what is the work done by a force. So for work done you have to consider the direction of motion, direction of applied force, the distance covered by the body or the particle, then it is collision of bodies, loss of kinetic energy, and the velocity of separation, and F is equal to ma, that is the Newton's second law. So all this it comes under kinetics. So we are going to study one by one all these concepts. Now the first module, here we are going to start the first module, that is the composition and the resolution of force system. Force, the definition of force, we'll see the definition of force. The force, force, it is nothing but an external agent which tends to change the state of rest or the uniform motion of the body. That is the force. सिंपल डेफिनेशन ऑफ फोर्स, एक ऐसा एक्सटर्नल एजेंट जो क्या करता है, अगर बॉडी रेस्ट में है तो उसको वो मोशन में लाता है, अगर बॉडी मोशन में है तो उसको रेस्ट में लाता है. So brake force, if you apply the brake force, what will happen? The vehicle or the body, it will come to rest. Vehicle rest में if you apply, if you press accelerate, you can say that pedal, accelerate pedal, then what happen? There will be a force, thrust force will generate by the engine, and this force will be responsible for the converting, or we can say changing the state of the vehicle from rest to motion. So that thrust force is nothing but, again it is one force. That brake force, it is nothing but a force. So it all comes under force. वो क्या है, वो एक्सटर्नल है, बॉडी है उसका एक्सटर्नल है. Again it is a vector quantity, means if you want to represent a force you will need magnitude as well as a direction, that is the vector quantity. Then we will see the characteristic of force, or what are the different characteristics of force. There are mainly three characteristics: the magnitude, the direction and the nature. Magnitude means कितने अमाउंट का फोर्स है, कौन से डायरेक्शन में एक्ट हो रहा है, और नेचर क्या है, पुश है कि पुल है. ये तीन आपको लगेगा अगर आपको कोई फोर्स आपको डिस्क्राइब करना है तो. हाँ, so here we are going to see in the detail what are the characteristics of a force. The magnitude of the force, so 100 Newton, 50 Newton, 25 kilonewton, 20 kilonewton, 5 kilonewton. So all these are the, you can say the magnitude of a force. The second one, the direction of the line along which the force acts. So in examples, in problem, in theory part, it will be written as the force acting along OX, OY, or the force acting at 30 degree north of east. So it is also known as the line of action of the force. Direction को ही कभी कभी कहते हैं line of action of force. The nature of force, whether the force is push or pull, this is denoted by placing an arrowhead on the line of action of force. Okay, so arrowhead डिस्क्राइब करता है उसका नेचर क्या है, वो पुश है कि पुल है, राइट. अगर आपका फोर्स, वन सेकंड, here I will draw one diagram. ये फोर्स है आपका पुल फोर्स. अगर फोर्स इस डायरेक्शन में तो ये आपका पुश फोर्स. ओके, पुल एंड पुश. सो दिस arrowhead, it shows the nature of the force. The last one is the point at which or through which the force acts on the body. अगर आपको पॉइंट ही पता नहीं कि वो कहाँ पे एक्ट कर रहा है, आपको ये तीन चीज़ें पता है कि उसका मैग्नीट्यूड 5 न्यूटन है, वो 30 डिग्री नॉर्थ ईस्ट में है और वो पुश है, लेकिन वो कहाँ पे एक्ट हो रहा है यही आपको पता नहीं है. सो देयर इज नो मीनिंग ऑफ these three characteristics. So you should know the fourth one, that is the point at which it is acting at A, B, C, D, like this. Got it? Understood? Next part is what are the effects of the force. Before effects, let me explain one force by one diagram. So here this one is the vertical wall, floor surface, there is one ladder AB, and a force of 600 Newton is acting at C. Now let's consider this 600 Newton force is nothing but there is one man of weight 60 kg and he is climbing this ladder. Okay, so in figure AB is ladder kept against a wall at point C. A person weighing 600 Newton is standing. The force applied by the person on the ladder has the following characteristic. The first characteristic, magnitude. What is the magnitude? 600 Newton, that is the magnitude. What is the direction? Vertically downward, that is the direction. The line of action is vertical CD or C2D. And the last one, the point of application is at C. Okay, so these are the, again, nature. It is push type of force because it is pushing the ladder towards downside. The magnitude of force is written near the arrow. Arrow के पास उसको लिखते हैं. The line of arrow shows the line of action of the force and the arrowhead shows the direction of the force. Okay, the point of intersection of the force with the body shows the point of application of the force on the body. So ये जो intersection point है C, intersection between the line of action of this force and the object, it shows the point of application. Let's move on next part, that is the effects of a force. The first effect is it may change the motion of a body. That is, if the body is at rest, the force may set it in the motion, and if the body is already in the motion, the force may accelerate it. Okay. The second effect, it may retard the motion of a body. Means if when you apply the brake force, what will happen? The body will retard. Okay. Sorry. Third is it may retard the forces already acting on a body, thus bringing it to the rest or in equilibrium. And the fourth one, it may give rise to the internal stresses in the body on which it acts. अगर ये तीनों में से कुछ नहीं हो रहा है तो क्या होगा? बॉडी के अंदर स्ट्रेस डेवलप होगा. स्ट्रेस डेवलप होगा अप टू वन लिमिट. आफ्टर दैट लिमिट द बॉडी विल फेल. So all these stress concepts you are going to study in the higher semester if you are from civil branch or the mechanical branch. So in some subjects you are going to study these stresses. So these are the effects of force. Let's move on to next part, system of forces. So we have two systems, or you can say the two classification of system of forces. First one is the coplanar forces, second one is the non-coplanar forces. Now coplanar, co means one, single, so and plane, a single plane. The forces acting or the lying in the same plane or in a single plane, then that forces are called as coplanar force system or the coplanar forces. For non-coplanar, vice versa, the forces which are lying more than one plane, means two plane or the three plane, then they are non-coplanar forces. Also they are called as 3D forces or sometimes space forces. So this part we are going to cover after first module is over. Now in coplanar, again there are two basic types, concurrent force system and the non-concurrent force system. Again in non-concurrent there are two, parallel and general. Again in parallel there are two subtypes, like parallel and like parallel. So this classification goes on. Next part is we'll see the definition. Coplanar force. The forces whose lines of action lie on the same plane are known as coplanar forces. So here you can see here all these forces F1 to F5, they are acting in this a single plane. Similarly here these forces are parallel forces, parallel coplanar. These are concurrent coplanar. These are collinear coplanar, parallel, unlike, parallel like. So all these are coplanar because they are acting in a single plane. So coplanar में there are 4 types: collinear, concurrent, parallel and the general. So first we'll see the definition of collinear. The forces whose line of actions lie on the same plane are known as collinear forces. Means the forces which act in a single line, they are called as collinear forces. The best example of line collinear forces is tug of war. In tug of war there are two groups. One group is holding one end of the rope, the second group the other end, and they apply the force, we can say the pull force, and they try to pull the rope towards their group. So they are applying the force in this way, in this direction. So they are, and the force is along the rope. A rope is a single line, so a collinear. The second is concurrent. Concurrent means if the forces are acting at a single point or which meet at a single point or one point, they are known as concurrent forces. So these forces, they may act away from the point, they may act towards the point, or some forces may act away from the point, some may act towards the point. So all these are called as concurrent forces. Here there is one good example is given. W, consider this lamp hanging by two cable. So यहाँ पे एक केबल है T1, T2 and this is W, and they are acting at this point. So 1, 2 and 3 forces. The next is parallel force system. The forces whose line of actions are parallel to each other are called as parallel forces. The best example is seesaw. The second best example is, we can say, the pedal of or bicycle. So again in parallel there are two categories. The first category or first type is like parallel forces. The forces, parallel forces whose line of action are parallel to each other and they are acting in the same direction. So here F1 and the F4, they are the parallel like forces because their line of action are parallel to each other and their direction also same. They are acting in the same direction. But for unlike parallel forces like F1 and F2 or F3 and F4, their line of actions are parallel to each other but they are acting in the opposite direction. So they are unlike parallel forces. And the last one is the general forces. The forces which are not collinear, concurrent, parallel, then they are called as general forces. Got it? Okay. Let's move on. Again, these are the non-coplanar forces. You can see here there is one more axis, x, y, z. So there are forces in the three direction. So this non-coplanar system we'll study in the next part. Now what is the principle of transmissibility? There is one block, and there is one force acting at point A. That is the point of application of the force. So you can replace this force from this point A to point B without changing the effect of this force. The condition is that this A and B, this should be in the same line. If we transmit or if we move the force P from point A to B, which lies on the line of action of force P, the same effect would be expected. Effect change नहीं होगा. Principle of transmissibility states that a force acting on a rigid body at different points along the force's line of action will produce the same effect on the body. उसका effect change नहीं होगा.